Hello and welcome everyone, this is Rufus Shinra from the Shinra Corporation, coming with a new Raid Shadow Legends video. Today we are doing an account takeover preparation. So what it means is that I will be doing an account takeover for Lair 786 here, who is a fellow Rat's Nest cluster member. But in preparation for that takeover, since we clearly don't have the resources to do it yet, I will be going through the account, seeing which areas need improvement, which champions need to be worked on, and based on that, we'll be doing the takeover sometimes later. So without further ado, let's just dive into the subject matter. Alright, so first of all, Lair told me that he wanted to improve pretty much all the areas of the game. Clan Boss, go into a 1-key Brutal and 2-key Nightmare, also Arena and various dungeon times, specifically Spider, that should be autoed. So we'll start with the Great Hall. Okay, so here we're going steadily towards accuracy development with pretty much equal levels everywhere. He has invested a little bit in some of these, but I would advise not to spread yourself too thin until you can consistently farm Gold 4. Because getting medals in Gold 1, Gold 2, Gold 3 is hard enough, so Gold 4 is the area where you want to farm your medals. That said, the investing in defense is good for Clan Boss actually, and investing in accuracy as well. But we'll see, depending on the champions, I will recommend areas to focus on. But for now, I think that in order to complete your missions and challenges, you should pick one of these and then invest in it heavily, taking it to 7, then to 10, etc, etc. So let's go to the missions and see where we are. Yeah, so Arbiter, we're in the last leg of missions here to get Arbiter. No, we're still pretty far off actually. So we do need to do all of these. So that's another thing. So yeah, just the first leg of the mission was completed. So this actually is a very good improvement and resource source for you. So you want to work on your missions as soon as you can. Because in addition to the free resources that you will get closer to getting Arbiter, which is a crucial champion in the arena meta. And you will also be able to collect some nice bonuses along the way, and it will also structure your progression. Because if you invest, for example, too much in your Great Hall way early on, and you come across a mission that requires you to level a Great Hall, an area of the Great Hall to level 7 or to level 5, then you might find yourself out of medals to do that. So it's preferable to follow these. I think that you'll be able to do these fairly easily, at least all the way to mid-game or to close to end-game. So that shouldn't be too much of a problem for you. So first tip is to focus on your missions. Same thing goes for the challenges. This icon needs to disappear. So as far as champion challenges, you're part 2 of 5. This should be quite easy for you to do. The artifacts, a lot of RNG involved, but hey, it's just some dumb luck here. Just keep grinding them and you will get there. Dungeons, same thing. And arena. The good thing is that you finished arena challenges, which is great. 50 medals, stay in Gold 2, stay in Gold 3, upgrade. Yeah, so this is something in the bag. So focus on finishing these other ones, and they come with the Sacred Shards, they come with Legendary Tomes, so lots of good stuff. Another thing, try to clear these red dots, man. They give me OCD. I hate to see red dots, but it allows me to see which new champions you got. I suppose this is from the summoning event, perhaps, or maybe some are from much earlier. Try to clear those. Now, onto your champions. Let's see which champions you have. We have Xavier. The Lizard King is not built. So Xavier. Let's take the champions one by one, and I'll let you know what I think about their gear. But first of all, Xavier is too slow, so we need to get her in at least one speed set with some good speed stats. The accuracy is pretty good. The attack needs to be a little bit higher, crit damage and crit rate good. So if you're using her in dungeons, she can do the work, but she needs to be a little bit faster. Also for arena. So I imagine that with this speed, you're not using her in Clan Boss because she's not auto-friendly anyway. But relatively good defense actually, proportional to her HP and attack. So you just need to add in some more speed and you'll be good, and get the accuracy over 200. On to Rosin. I think that he's definitely used in clan boss. Good clan boss speed. Could be always faster if you don't have a counter attack. Good defense. Reasonable. This can work in Nightmare and even arguably in Ultra Nightmare as well. Very good for Nightmare and Brutal. It would need a little bit more if you want to use him in Ultra Nightmare, but for Brutal Nightmare. So all in all, your Rosin looks pretty good, man. What I would change is I would work on his crit rate and crit damage if you have the gear to do that, but we'll get into the gear later. But your Rosin so far is looking good. She's not built. I didn't check the masteries. 1 second. So he's in defense plus offense trees. These are good. Good. What about her? So if you're not using her in clan boss, you have not really any need for a giant slayer. You could trade it for Helm Smasher or for flawless execution, but other than that, she's pretty good for a speed team, whether in clan boss or in dungeons. So your Seer is mastered. He has good masteries as far as using her as a wave clearer, but she's not geared. I assume that you're using her the gear on someone else. Sepulchre Sentinel. So you're going for high speed, high defense, good accuracy. That's a strong build as well. I would just maybe work on her speed, but that's already hard to get over 200 speed with lifesteal gear. So good build here. Masteries. The only thing that I would have changed here maybe is to go with Master Hexa, because yeah, you can't always choose between these two, between Master Hexa and Sniper, but if I had the choice I would have picked, I think, both, and maybe sacrifice Lasting Gifts, because this is a little bit too random, and the benefit from extending attack down can mean the difference between life and death, whereas defense down you could maybe survive without if you have good enough defense, but attack down, once you go over that level 20, level 30, or around 20, around 30 in clan boss, if you don't have attack down, means that your team will get wiped. So, but that's not a major flaw. The what's it called? Arcane Evil Eye, Sniper Mastery. Sorry, I tend to forget the name sometimes. Sniper Mastery adds a little bit of a chance to land that attack down. So, trade-off is not too bad, all in all. Zargala coming in with some good masteries here. What about the build? Take a look. 151 speed, perfect crit rate, more than perfect actually, 142 crit damage and 3000 attack. Could always be improved, could always be faster, could always have more crit damage, but that's a good base to work with. Yeah, so here if I had the say, so you're working with good accuracy, so this can work in gold, not in platinum unfortunately, but in gold it can work. So we'll take a look at the gear and see what we can do there. Eothar. So if you're using him now as your main poisoner and clan boss, him or Frozen Banshee, this can work. Can definitely work in clan boss, but he's not built. Check the books. He's fully booked where it counts. What about Xavier? Full books, Rosin. Full books, yeah. You don't have to book this if you're not using him in arena. And yeah, good. Good book situation overall, pretty decent gear, so I think that you just need a little bit of a push, a little bit of some fine-tuning across the board to reach the next level. You have an ultimate Galak, and this is a pretty good build for him. Tell from the original stats, just need some more accuracy for Spider 20, you need 200 accuracy, the speed is good. HP and defense are pretty good, but hey, crit damage is through the roof. So yeah, if it works for you, just need to make him a little bit more accurate and he'll be nice. Take a look at your miscreated monster. 60k HP, very respectable. Very slow though, and not enough accuracy. Well, the accuracy you could do without, but the speed, that's an issue. Assuming you have an HP boots on, not even those. So I'm afraid he won't work at such low speeds. It will not help you auto spider, so you need to work on that. Alright, so some good crit damage gear here. Assume she's your arena nuker. Slow but deadly. So if you could go, manage to get her to go, to take a turn in arena, I assume she'll be able to explode anybody she comes across. Jareg, probably now using Faction Wars, as you got Sepulchre Sentinel. There's no need to use him again. In Clan Boss, Gorgorab, not fast enough, and also looks like he's in second tier gear, used for Faction Wars. Bag Knight, no gear, but still he does have his masteries. Check. No masteries on Gorgorab, and masteries on this guy. Excellent, excellent. Here we have our main poisoner for Clan Boss, or former poisoner for Clan Boss. These are good stats. So this is something that I wouldn't change. Plus his lifesteal, etc. I would not change this. If I would just do some minor optimization. But kudos, well geared, well done. This guy, maybe he's our campaign farmer. I don't know what you're using him for exactly, so I can't tell so far. Let's get on to the Cold Heart. 69% crit rate, 201 crit damage, 146 speed. A little bit too slow, but these figures are right on point. Maybe if you could get her to 70%, but this is good. Just a little bit of more speed, and maybe if you could get in some more extra crit damage, that could help. Oh, so I see you have her in Giant Slayer, so that's the issue. You could get her with either Flawless Execution or Helm Smasher. Both would be better than Giant Slayer. Okay. Grave Chill Killer. Alright, she's not geared, and I assume that this is the current Clan Boss Poisoner, but I wouldn't advise to use her in conjunction with Steel Skull, because there would be too much poison and you might run the risk of running out of debuff spots for attack down and for defense down. So pretty good build overall. Nice speed, nice defense, nice accuracy, but I need to make a choice between her and Steel Skull. Elhain, mastered? Nope, but she has all her scrolls. Can be mastered whenever you want to. Good choice, good choice. Apothecary, I assume he's your fastest champion. You might think, might want to consider switching his gear to Gorgorab, so that Gorgorab takes this spot instead of him, but we'll see about that in when we get to your arena team. Bird of Fellhammer, not really used so far. Molly Tankard. Now this is a champion you want to work on for your arena, because she can be an absolute pain. Look at her kit. So with her A1, so the damage increases by 50% if the target is under an HP burn debuff, which means that she can deal a lot of damage to HP burn, but this is not why she's good. She's good for this attack, which places a provoke on all enemies for 1 turn, and has 50% chance of placing a provoke debuff for 2 turns instead. Then places a 30% reflect damage buff on this champion for 2 turns, which means that also you can get it to a 3-turn cooldown. So she will provoke the enemy for 1 or 2 turns, depending on how RNG turns out, placing a reflect damage on her. So whoever hits her, especially if it's a big hitter in arena, they will take that damage back and they run the risk of killing themselves. So, and plus she suppresses them for a couple of turns. So this is a very, very important crowd control ability, and works wonders in arena, coupled with her cheer or cheers, which helps her revive an ally with 50% HP and 50% turn meter and a block damage for 1 turn. So this is huge, absolutely, when skilled up to reduce the cooldown by 2 turns. She can be deadly in arena. Finally, her passive increases the turn meter of all alliances by 15% when this champion is hit. So if they're hit by a boss, it increases it by 25%. So, but the thing is, it happens only once per turn. So if she gets hit another time, it will not increase the turn meter. Still, that's great for speed teams, great in arena to take the initiative and to always keep that turn meter rolling. So if there was any champion you wanted to take to 60, I would advise to do it for Molly Tankard and also for this guy, but we'll come to him in a little while. So, Painkeeper, here, she's probably used in an unkillable comp or in cooldown reduction, so nothing to say here. Blood Gorge, take a look at his kit. He attacks one enemy 2 times and has 55% of placing a 60% decreased defense for 2 turns. Then AoE attack and puts one of each target's skills on cooldown. So this is the budget version of the Hegemon cooldown decrease. Then Decapitate. It attacks one enemy, ignores defense, and blocks revives. So anybody killed by this attack will not be revived. Plus, it hits super hard. Both his A2 and A3 have very, very high multipliers. So this guy is an absolute monster in Arena. Also in Faction Wars against levels where you have lots of revivers, basically everywhere. So he's a very good DPS dealer. And can also be used in the clan boss to a certain extent, but that's not his main focus. Seal of the Drakes, she's pretty good, but you don't need to work on her right away. So we'll see, depending on the areas you need to progress on. I would see if she's an absolute necessity, but her kit is great. She places decreased speed for 2 turns on any enemy, and also can decrease the turn meter of the enemies by 15%. He also places stun on an AoE, and she attacks all enemies twice. Her damage is based on defense. And finally, she has a 50% HP revive and places 50% ally protection on the ally that she revives on a 4-turn cooldown. Finally, her passive is that she heals all allies by 10% of their max HP at the start of each turn, and also places 30% increased speed buff on a random ally for 2 turns. So this would have been better if it was based on maybe her defense or her HP, but still this is a good champion defensively. I've seen her used in clan boss, I've seen her used in arena, but she's still fairly new, so you can wait a little bit before investing on her, whereas the other ones are for now at least they're fairly recognized value. Alright, I will not go through every other epic. The ones worth to mention here, let me see, yeah, we'll just have food down there. There's Catacomb Counselor, if you ever want to build a blender comp or a comp that has the rally attack, that uses the rally attack skill. So he's a pretty good choice. The other ones are not that good. You have also a second Cold Heart, which could be a good option for Spider. So this is for the main roster. Let's check the vault. And we have some more golds here in the vault, so very good single target DPS. And niche used to steal the shields, etc. But not really easy to gear or easy to place, because he needs a lot of synergy with the rest of the team. High Cthulhu, well, since you have Gogorab, she's a little bit obsolete, so you don't need her. This guy can support you in defensive comps, but not much more value than that. Eupides, he gets a ton better if you get Venus, but alone, again, he's not super great. In Spider, for instance, Ultimate Gallic is much better. So yeah, he could help you go through the hurdles like level 19, but I don't think that you're stuck there. I think that you've already cleared all the levels in Spider, if I'm not mistaken. We'll check that out next. Okay, so Birdle, what's his name? Grubtuck Mossbeard, yeah. No, everybody knows about this guy, so I'll skip it. Killian the Lucky, he's a human roulette. She can extend poisons, so not a bad choice for some people. See if we have any game-changing epic here. So overall, some strong epics, but nothing comparable to what you have in your main roster. Maybe, let's see if we have Bulwark somewhere. No, I don't see anyone. Okay, so this is for the themes. Let's go look for the gear. Let's check. So you have farmed some Spider, I see. You got 1 banner from Demon Spawn. Alright, so let's check the gear situation. Let's do a quick filter to see if you have any flat stats anywhere. That's this thing I'm hunting for. Good, so you just have a couple of flat stats on 1 rare. That's good, so it means that you're getting rid of your flat stats, which is excellent. Now let's take a look at something like attack percentage gauntlets, which are not usually useful. So we kept this one because it had a double roll and speed. The other one, so I'd suggest these. I suggest that you sell these and keep the ones that you already rolled. But anyone that is not yet rolled, maybe you want to keep one pair of good gloves from each set. For instance, this is an exception because it has good speed substats, it has accuracy, it has the potential to roll in any of those areas. Actually, let's do a quick upgrade now. Let's see where it falls. So for instance, if this rolls on speed or on accuracy or crit rate, basically anything besides flat attack, what was I saying? So you can still roll it a couple more times and see if it can roll double speed or double accuracy. Maybe triple accuracy. So this is a good choice, but for instance, this kind of weapon, we don't have anything to do with these. Attack percentage gloves are very niche. There are very few champions that scale better off of raw attack than of crit damage. So generally speaking, it's safe to sell them. So this is for the gloves. Let's check. What about let's check the individual champions and see how they're geared. So for Xavier, for Rosin, so defense, yeah, defense chest, defense gloves, and speed boots. The rest is fairly good. So we could switch him to defense boots, but you're using speed team, so that wouldn't be recommended because I didn't see any counterattack. Okay. Now that I've seen the roster, I have an overall idea of your gear. Maybe I want to take a second look at it just to make sure how much we have in each type. So let's check the speed substats on speed pieces. So we have here 5 speed, 1 could be rolled, 1 already rolled well. Okay, so we have some nice speed pieces here and there. Plenty of speed substat pieces. Good. Good. What about crit rate substats in the pieces? So this is how we'll be able to determine whether or not we need to do a lot of farming or we can work with what we have. So we have pieces with crit rate substats. I see some are legendary, some are epic, some unrolled, so this is good. I need to check the defenses there. Oh no, so we don't need HP here. We actually need defense. Even if it's a fast piece, I would rather have defense than HP. That's something that's very common. So usually we don't have many defense percentage pieces, either because they've been sold or because you haven't been lucky enough to pull them or to loot them from Dragon. So yeah, this is something we'll need to be on the lookout for. Gauntlets, same story. But we have a few in gauntlets, although not top priority. But we still have a few, so a little bit more farming to get some defense percent chests for that clan boss. They could be lifesteal or they could be speed. Actually, I didn't check if we had any on the speed set. Be good. Yeah, just a couple. Maybe 2-3 more, so a little bit more farming on Dragon will not hurt. That's my initial take. What about the banners? Accuracy, let's check all the accuracy banners that we have because that would be the main stats, ideally with speed substats. So we have one for almost every faction. Take away that speed sub. Accuracy here, demon spawn. Ogrean tribes, barbarians, lizard men. All in all, fair. That's fair. What about ring or amulets with accuracy subs? Okay, I see we still have some uncommon pieces that we could sell, maybe to get some more silver. Of course, all these must be on farm. Ice Golem. Good, 3 minutes. Which team are you using? But she's not geared at the moment, so we'll not be able to test her. A nice amount of energy here, so team looks like it could hold its own against Ice Golem, especially if Seer is geared well enough. These 2 or these 3 place buffs, they could eat them. Yeah, all in all, not a bad team at all. So 3:15 is a relatively fast time. Could always be improved, but still a good time. spider, 2 minutes, 14 seconds. With a faster miscreated monster, I think we could... Do we really need a faster miscreated monster? That is the question. Let's see how this team runs. Is it auto? Is it not? Let's take a look. Alright, here, so just to confirm, we have a semi-auto team. All we need to do is to highlight the spider when we first begin, so that Gallic uses his attack up on himself, and then we unclick the spider and let it roll on auto. So that was one of the issues that this account has. It didn't have a auto strategy for spiderware. Actually, it has a semi-auto strategy. We can always improve that, maybe by introducing Gorgrab or another Cold Heart. Well, we'll see. But we can already use this strat to get Arbiter once we reach those missions. So now from there on, given the rotation, Gallic will always use his increased attack first before using the burn on the spiders. Okay. Next turn should be the turn where he uses it. If he's fully booked, he should be able to place the burn right now. Exactly, and with some luck, we'll get all the spiders under burn, which is the case. And voila, the rest should be history. We lost Stagnite along the way. And I think we're close to getting a new personal best, unless the spider heals. Ah yeah, here Gallic didn't have the attack up on him before using the burn, but that's also okay. Should still be able to do it under 1 minute, probably. Come on. Under 1 minute. Almost. Still better than the time that we did before, so 2 minutes 3 seconds. That's time for farming. Still not 100% auto, but we'll take a look at that later. What about the other team? So this is Spider. What about the Dragon? These are the most important dungeons. So 2 minutes 12 in Dragon using Xavier, Eothar, Miscreated Monster, Rosin, and Apothecary. Not a bad setup per se, but what could we do to improve the clear times? Did you ever try to use this girl? Or maybe Zorgala? Or AoE defense down? This could be a good option too. Rosin is good. Maybe Zorgala is a better option. Let's check out Zorgala and see what she does just for science. Go. Speed up. Zorgala AoE defense down. Xavier with the poison. And Xavier will come back with the burst. Hopefully kill a couple of them. Killed just one, but that's okay. We have the affinity advantage on almost all of our champions. The others are of neutral affinity, so that's good. All in all, a fairly fast comp. Pretty reliable as well. Whether we use Zorgala or Rosin, teams should still be able to perform, but here the issue is that Eothar died. That's gonna slow us down against the dragon, also against the waves. But good news is you have a champion that you're not using, which is Taurus. Taurus is the champion that I use for my dragon farming comp, and him combined with Xavier can make short work of those waves. All you need is to ascend him 3 times. Fairly cheap to do. Take him maybe to 50 so that he can get a little bit tanky, and that's all. So let's bring the team back. Oh, Eothar was not equipped. Maybe that's why. Yeah, Eothar has nothing on him, so that's why we weren't able to complete the level. Okay, but the team is good. I can say that the team is, that's a good setup, specifically with Xavier. You want a poisoner, set her up for that detonation. You want a speed buffer, and if you had a faster masqueraded monster, that could be even better. So Fire Knight, you're able to clear 20. That's great. Again, yeah, these are all geared. They have affinity advantage, and Apothecary could be a good aggro for the mobs. So let's see how this comp runs. Okay, so you have them all under control, debuffed and ready to be blown up to bits by Xavier. Good defense on the Apothecary. I see that he's holding on, even though he's getting aggroed. That's good. And the combined heals from Steel Skull make it so that he can survive even longer. So good strategy. And once we reach the big boss, Xavier should make short work of him, especially since we have tons of 3-hitters here. We have Xavier, we have Apothecary, we have Razin, and even Stag Knight with his slow and turn meter reduction. Double hits from Skull Crusher plus defense up and heal. So yeah, fairly strong team for Fire Knight 20. Although could be faster if we had a Reza in the team and Cold Heart. Typically I would say Arbiter, but you're still far off. Gorgrab would struggle in this level, but let's say no more than Apothecary if you geared him properly. So the reason why I'm talking about Reza, because Cold Heart is very hard to build, both for damage and survivability, so she would most likely die in one of these waves, if not against the boss, so you need someone to revive her if you are willing to use her. Cold Heart has double uses. She can both take down the Fire Knight shield very quickly and keep it down with her turn meter reduction while dishing out some nice damage. But all in all, with Xavier, all dungeons pretty much are on easy mode. You can even use her in Spider's 20 actually. She would not be 100%, but she can take a big chunk of life in a couple of hits with that detonation. Alright. So hopefully Razin will not be using his turn meter reduction this turn. He didn't. Good. So if Razin can use his turn meter reset before the knight shields up. Too bad. He's gonna probably use it now and waste it. No. Good thing he isn't booked then. No, Xavier shouldn't have done this. Oh, and this is the lack of accuracy. So if Razin was at 200, that turn meter bar would have gone way down and would have taken a second full turn for the whole team to decrease his damage, to place poison, to do whatever we need. So that's one thing. So we need to work on that accuracy for Razin, because those few points do matter. The difference between 195 and 200 can mean the difference between winning and losing, or winning in 2 minutes versus winning in 5 minutes. Okay, we're getting somewhere. He's still resisting because we need that accuracy. Alright, so the fight is going to take a little bit. I'm going to cut and then move on to Arena as soon as we finish this fight. And alright, we took him down in 4 minutes. Not a slow time by any means. That's a very respectable time, especially given your progress in the game. And there we got a nice piece of crit damage sets with speed substats, which could be used later on. Now, moving on to Arena. Let's see who you're using. You're in Gold 1. What kind of defense do you have? So your defense is winning some, losing some. You're using a resistance defense here. Razin, Apothecary, Zargala, Talia. Alright, so this would mean something if your team had high resistance. Again, let's see how you do against your opponent. This is the defense, but I don't know you're using offense. Let's take on a highly ranked team. This team should fall easily before your might, but you run the risk of being outsped. So if they go faster than you, you still have your apothecary to boost everybody up. Let's see how this team works. Because it's your defense, I'll put it on auto. So you got outsped, you got nuked. Okay, Rosin coming through with the counter. Oof. He needs to heal himself first. Rosin will reset everyone. Speed up. And we'll take out the first threat. Can't even kill him. Quite tough. So you're relying on Rosin or Talia. Again, the issue here is speed. So let's try to take down this guy. Second threat would be this guy. So yeah, pretty tough team to deal with the champions that you've had here. If we can change things around a little bit. Even unbooked, he could make a difference. And with these two, we could make short work of everyone. So yeah, why not? Let's check this out. Still not faster than them. Apothecary is not fast enough. Let's speed boost. And let's raise everyone. Oof. No. So we need to work on this a little bit. So we need some more speed on these guys. We need as much speed as we can in order for us to be able to improve and to move beyond gold 2. So the key here is speed lead. Your team has a resistance lead. It's not bad, but it would make sense if your whole team was super resistant so that they wouldn't be able to get debuffed. But taking a look at their stats again, so let me go back to your champions recently used first. So as far as resistance go, you have very low resistance on all of them. So it does not make much sense because people's accuracies will usually be comparable to yours, if not much higher. So unless you are intending to run a team with full resistance banners and resistance chest plus maybe some resistance gear, there is no sense in running Rosin as lead. What I suggest you do is to run a speed lead like Gorgrab. I think he's your best speed lead so far. Yeah, he's by far your best speed lead. So you should run him in full speed gear instead of apothecary, and have the others as nukers. Maybe even run a miscreated monster for the shield in, but he would need also to be faster. So the word of the day is speed. Let's take a look at your speed boots. Wow, so you basically, no, sorry, my bad. Primary stats. So you have some in here, but you have no speed boots from the speed set. You have some other alternatives, so that's something we need to farm. We need to have at least a few of these. We could work with the speed boots that you have, but preferably need some more. And ideally in the speed set, something like this. Let's take a look. Do you have speed? I assume that you would have some speed boots equipped. 1, 2, 3 speed boots. That's a start. If you could get a couple more, that would definitely help. For clan boss, that's the area I haven't tested yet. Let's see if we can hit brutal. Take a look at your team. I don't even need to hit brutal. I think I can anticipate the damage here. Yeah, so this is a good team, good synergy all in all. What does it need? I don't think it does need much. Maybe just some gear, because I saw the gear on Sepulchre, Sentinel, on Rosin, on but here maybe too much poison. That's what I would say. Maybe too much poison. A little bit more mitigation or a little bit more defense would help. So we'll see what we can do about that. Alright, so this concludes the account review for Elia786. Again, stay tuned for an upcoming takeover. As soon as we get enough silver and enough gear farm for doing it, we'll be doing an account takeover, and we'll be trying to improve that performance specifically in Arena, some of the dungeons, and Clan Boss. With that said, thank you very much for watching. I always appreciate your help. Don't forget to subscribe and to leave a comment. I love you all, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.